Pretty cool, isn't it? And you see it's pushing against that bead on the top. Like a repeller. So that's essentially the rising force of a UFO. It's not against the pole itself, which does cause some stability, but it's like the top rising in a vacuum. Now, in case you did not understand yet, the rising force of a UFO comes from a disk magnet like this, spinning around a pole in what's called a helical magnetic field created by 3-wire coils below and 3-phase power. See, the magnet starts spinning, and as it does so, it rises like a top by pushing against the vacuum of space. When it gets to a certain height, the field gets weaker and it collapses again. Now I'll flip that magnet north to south. We'll turn on 3-phase power from 3-wire coils below. You can see it spins with the 3-phase power at low speed. As we increase the voltage and current in the coils, it rises up like that. Now it helps if the rod in the center, which is 8 millimeters, is 304 stainless steel with a little paramagnetism rather than 316, because that helps stabilize the magnet as it's rising and going up and down. This matches exactly what we saw drawn in crops in 1999. You see a little magnet here going up through a pole like that. And that's what we're looking at here, the rising force of a UFO. Now, instead of a 50 millimeter magnet with a 20 millimeter hole, we have a 60 millimeter magnet with a 20 millimeter hole. It's a bit heavier, take more power to lift it up. You can see the north pole is facing up here. Again, as we spin it around, you may have to go to a little bit more power to lift it up, but it certainly does lift up. Let's flip it over and make sure it's really due to the vacuum. Now we flipped it over the other way so the south pole is facing up. And what do we see? It rises in exactly the same way. So it's not climbing the pole. The pole does provide a little stability by very weak paramagnetism, but it's rising against the vacuum of space like a top. Now let's look at something else which is very interesting. We have a 70 millimeter magnet with a 14 millimeter hole, only 6 millimeters bigger than the 8 millimeter rod, sitting there with its north red pole facing up in the same situation. We'll add 3-phase power, and you'll see it rises up. Let's flip it over and see what happens. Next, let's look at the south pole orientation up of that 70 millimeter magnet. Turn 3-phase power. We can again see it rise up. Pretty cool, isn't it? And you see it's pushing against that bead on the top. Like a repeller. So that's essentially the rising force of a UFO. It's not against the pole itself, which does cause some stability, but it's like the top rising in a vacuum. You even spray that magnet, that's the 50-20 magnet, with a lot of silicone lubricant all over the pole and the magnet. And when we turn on the power, you can see it still lifts up. We can likewise spray a 70 millimeter magnet with silicone spray as lubricant to get rid of any possible holding onto the rod. We'll turn on the power. It's very hard for it to rise up. Only at very high speeds will it rise up.